Alright, let's just try to defend first place. Oh no, it didn't give him a penalty, okay. I don't know what was going on there.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
He's so fixated on me, you forgot to brake maybe? Alright, so we got what, a Ferrari and a Beamer behind us? A Bulldozer moved up. Yeah, a lot of these guys are going to find more pace in the race the more laps they put around here. Our job is just to drive consistently. Zapa's obviously going to gain places and catch up. I mean, he didn't leave. Yeah, he's still in here. I think guy who crashed might have left. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was a crash. I don't know. Game crash, that is. Blue Wolf has gained like 10th or 2, I think. Kind of fluctuating a bit. Oh my god. Going wide. I swear Reddit never sends me notifications unless I'm in a race, and then I just get notifications constantly in it. It's trying to distract me from my phone. Alright, Blue Wolf's keeping up. Bulldozer. God, Zapa's already moved up to 3rd. Just love how he has to do last to first challenges to even have a real race. Shit. No, don't want damage. Looks like Blue Wolf might have gone wide too.
Yellow flag, be careful.
That's Emery in first place. How does that happen?
Fastest lap of the race, man. Good job.
Yeah, Blue Wolf isn't... He's not really gaining, but he's not dropping back but a few tenths, and then he'll just gain them right back, so... Tuck the nose in, that was a little too in.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
DXD's moving up too, not quite as fast as Zapa.
Yellow flag ahead. Be careful.
Oh god, that was close. Alright, we just beat our lap time by a second and blew off, only fell back a few tenths. But once he gets Zapa on him, that's going to slow both of them down a little bit, I think. I don't know if DXD will catch us, but Zapa definitely can. Oh! It's so weird. My brain's like expecting to feel just a huge shunt going over that. Front left's getting a little warm. Rear left is too, but I'm not quite as worried about that. Considering we're only 7 minutes in the race. Might start losing front end grip earlier than we want. I don't really mind the rear wanting to rotate a little bit. I can deal with that. No one likes understeer. Alright, so we did a 145A. What's Blue Wolf doing? 146. So he's right up there. Oh, that was... Oh, he followed me off too. Ooh, something happened is Zapa might have got dashboarded. Either crashed or dashboarded. Cannot wait till they fix that bug if that's what happened. Shows him in the pit, so yeah, I don't know. He could have rejoined or he could be pitting for damage and just knocking his pit stop out. We'll find out. The wolf is staying in my rearview mirror. DXD is actually knocking time off our gap too. Yeah, if DXD started first, he might have been long gone. Although I would have had a draft and someone to pace off of. Sometimes I find helps compared to just being in the lead. I'm really losing front end grip. Woo! And a lot of time with one of those turns. We were like 2 or 3 tenths down. Oh, we're plowing wide here. Oh my god. Ooh, I've really dropped off a bit there. DXD is right on his tail now. Gotta go about 10 more minutes till we pit. Alright, DXD got past Blue Wolf. He just did basically the same time that I did. And that was with battling and passing a car, so might catch up to us by the time it's about time to pit. Don't see him in the rear view yet. I think I can just barely see him back there now. Oh. Felt that one through the wheel. It's been real, Aston Martin. I got 2 more races with it next weekend. I guess technically I have a race Wednesday with it, and then don't know if I'm gonna do a GT4 in the multi-class race that we're gonna do, or do GT3 in this. But once season starts next year, I'll just switch cars again as usual, and we'll retire the Aston. But it's actually usable on console now. Hopefully more people end up using it, but it's solid. Feels good on most tracks. Probably gonna do the new Audi. Go back to mid-engine, and I haven't even used an Audi period in a long time. Oh. Should be fun.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Alright, is TXT, did he pit? He's in the pits, okay. Interesting. We're not really losing lap time yet, so probably gonna wait until we have to refuel to pit. I don't know if he was running out of fuel or had a lot of tire wear. Or oh, come on. These laps are crucial though. While he's in the pits and we're not. No. DXT's coming out of the pits. Hey, that was a long pit stop, wasn't it? I mean, I guess when you include the time in the pit lane and all that. Ooh, I might get a track warning there. Oh, maybe not. Getting faster as we're getting lighter. Yeah, we are really shaving off time here. Just getting on the gas a tiny bit earlier. Tiny bit earlier. The car's holding. TXD's in the 144s though. He might actually be past us when we get out of the pits.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
But yeah, should have pit to be able to defend. We'll see. We'll be on fresher tires when we come out. So we'll have better tires at the end of the race too. Alright, gotta remember to use the manual pit limiter.
We're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
All right. God, that is going to be close. If we nailed it, that's about as fast of a pit entry as you're going to get. If we get a penalty, that's going to suck. Come on, don't move me, don't move me. Yes! Man, that Porsche sounds good. Is that Blue Wolf? Not sure if that's Blue Wolf or if that's someone else.
Mandatory stop is now clear. Let's go, 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 go.
Where's DXD? Did he disconnect? Damn, he might have dashboarded. Oh boy. Gotta get these puppies warmed up. Yeah, I was worried that I want to cross the line at like a mile an hour or two. Is it super sensitive with pit entry speed on PC as well? Because for us for a while it seemed like it gave you probably a 5 mile an hour leeway as long as you were like on the brakes, but now if you are way over, or if you're just barely over it, it still gives you the penalty. Yeah, that's probably how that person got the stop and go. track is so much fun. Alright, so DXT is only 30 seconds behind. I feel like if he had dashboarded, it would be a lot more than that. So maybe he just did take a long pit stop like I was wondering. Yeah, that's... I normally try to get below it. I'm trying to time it right with the pit limiter, since you can keep your foot planted as long as you're in first and hit the pit limiter and it'll slow the car down. That's... as long as you don't do that too early. Because there'll be times where I brake too much and go down to like 15 or 20 or something. Being paranoid if I have it set to auto. That's such a fun section when you nail it. Oh, going wide here though. Alright, tires are warmed up. I absolutely hate this turn. Yeah, that's President get his track limits. I am really over pushing the front tires here, but that was decently fast that time. Oh my god. How does the car not just get thrown off doing that? I feel like there's so many other curves in the game where they're less aggressive than that and you get spat out. That is completely fair. Pushing wide a lot more than I was in the first stint. Yeah, I did a pit. I was a little scared that I went in like a mile or two too fast, but I didn't. Pretty much timed it perfectly. Leaving the pits is easy because you just wait for the little menu to go away. But I do think once I get used to it, it'll definitely be faster. Just being able to be in first, keep the throttle pinned, and hit the pit limiter. Oh, a little over rotation there. Whoa!
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Yeah, I think the key is just to know when to press it, right? Like, it takes it as, depending on how fast you're going, it takes a certain amount of time for it to get down to the 50 kilometers. But kind of like what TG was saying earlier, though, it's better, you know, say if you get down to the right speed a tiny bit early, that's better than either not having it manual and freaking out and slowing down way too much, or getting a stop and go.
Warning for exceeding track limits.
I need this second stint of the car just, I don't know if I'm driving differently or if nailing that curb really messed with tire pressures or something. Yeah, you can. As long as you're in first gear, you can activate it no matter what speed you're at, as long as the car can be in first gear at that speed. And then it slows it down. You can keep your foot pinned on the gas and it slows it down to the exact pit speed limit. Alright, this is just me driving like an idiot that time. It is crazy how forgiving that curb is. Really, this one, I don't know, I like this one. I guess there's a few corners where you don't really have like easy brake markers to go off of. I guess I also have played this track a ton in Forza, so I at least know where it goes. But I mean, to be fair, Indy was the same way. I played it in Forza, knew where it went, but oh.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
It took me so long to learn Indy in this game. And I don't really like it at all, actually. Coda's fine. I like Coda, but I find this one just flows well. The only turn I really don't like or haven't figured out is this next one up here. Alright, 7 minutes. And I don't know if certain cars are more affected by curbs than others, because that's where I was lapping in the Porsche Cup on here. I mean, I guess that's no traction, but no traction control, but if I like touched a curb, it's so like crazy. This thing, I've slammed into curbs and shit, and this car just takes it. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's I'm trying to think of other tracks that like Spa and things like that. Just driving on them is nothing like in Forza, but really just Forza's force feedback is not good. Never mind the physics. That's the thing I'm really hoping they get right with the next one. I don't expect the next one to be a full-on sim, but I just want to have enjoyable force feedback. Doesn't even have to be perfect. Like Wreckfest, obviously not a sim, and force feedback isn't the greatest thing in the world, but it just does a good job of letting you know what the car's doing. So it's super fun. Yeah, so I'm not good with making my own setups, but I also don't like the idea of buying setups. So sometimes I'll find, if I really struggle on a track or with a car, I'll just find one on YouTube, but most of the time I just do the default aggressive and do brake pad 1, maybe lower the brake ducts, lower brake bias, and get tire pressures right. The only car where it was like every race I found a setup for was when I did a season in the 911. That was one where I just felt like if I didn't do a good setup, I couldn't confidently get the car around the track. Apparently since 1.8 the Porsche is actually a lot nicer to drive. But for the most part, the aggressive setups handle pretty much how I want them, how I want the car to. I'm just not good at, I can read what something, you know, does. Like, oh, fast stamping does this, or, but it's hard for me to translate, like when I'm driving a car around and being like, what would I change? What do I think needs to be changed? And anything more in depth than it understeers or it oversteers, and I'm out of the loop. So I'll sometimes mess with anti-roll bars or arrow, but that's I feel like my greatest strength is just consistency. Not the fastest, like, lap times. Not the best at strategy, but just I can put in solid laps over and over and over and over without getting too distracted or too flustered or anything. I want to find out what happened to DXT though. I don't know if he just dashboarded a few times or if he wrecked, because he was 100% lapping faster than me and catching, and then he pit and then I pit and he was way behind. Well, to be fair, DXT I think dashboarded, and then Zapo was lapping faster and catching up, but he got a stop and go for speeding in the pits, so. Blue Wolf was hanging in there. His pace like dropped off a tiny bit and mine got faster a tiny bit. But for a while we were doing almost identical lap times.
Alright mate, this is your last lap and you're the leader. Keep it together.
But this is a smaller grid. We don't have Frosty in here. He's usually up there. Q-Bar's usually up there. Yeah. That's why I prefer having a close race or a driver to chase. I don't like defending too much. I feel like I'm not aggressive enough at defending. But I really like chasing people. Like me and DXD had one of probably the best one-on-one race I've ever had in this game with somebody. We were at Brands Hatch in the light rain in 45-minute race, and we finished a 10th apart. And at one point, Zapo was like, me and DXT were side by side through turns with Zapo right on our tail, like filling up my entire rearview mirror. Which in the dry is already intense, and then. And the other thing too, what was cool was DXD, oh boy. DXD was on, it was kind of that middle of the road conditions where wets and dries are both viable. And so I was on dries and DXD was on wets. And we were still that close, so it was really cool. I think I have the replay of that going up on YouTube tomorrow.
Well managed. Bring it back home.
Alright, let's get a screenshot of results. We're gonna do that track next season, next Saturday season, so we'll have a bigger grid then. This track would be fun with a full grid. Yeah, I'm imagining DXT either got in a horrible accident or he dashboarded. I don't know who Bree XX26 is. I haven't raced with them before. I need to figure out who they are in the Discord. Everyone else I recognize. A good variety of cars today, for the most part. It's a distinct lack of V10s, though. Need some Audis and some Lambos. Alright, DXC just sent me a message. I want to see. He said he crashed multiple times. Need him to specify a game crash or a car crash. Oh, he just said car crash. Alright, I feel better about the win then. If it was game crash, I would have felt bad. But, alright, so that does it for this weekend. That's crazy. I'm looking out my window right now. It's like the exact same conditions where I am versus in the game. That's funny. So Wednesday, we got IXR NA League. I think we have one more race left on Wednesday, and then they'll start the next season. I don't know if it's still going to be Wednesdays or not, or when that'll start. Friday, got the IXR Mixed League race. That's going to be at Mount Panorama. So mixed class, Mount Panorama. That is going to be interesting. I'm in a GT4 too, which is going to be really tricky on the downhill section. I don't know if I've ever driven a GT4 there. So that'll be wild. And then Saturday is our final race for Box 3 Season 5. We're at Hungaroring. It's going to just be clear race conditions. So easy final race for everyone. Although that track can be pretty tricky. And then we will drop, which theoretically this coming week, the crash to dashboard issue is going to be fixed. So hopefully that's completely done, out of the way. So Hungaroring will be the end of Season 5 for Box 3. Going to drop everyone's two worst results to try to help cover the dashboarding issues. And so those results get posted. And then next Sunday is also the final race in this Cruis'n USA series, which will be at Laguna Seca, and it's probably going to be at nighttime, I'm thinking. I wanted to keep the 3 new tracks. I want to keep the conditions clear, so people don't know these tracks as much. So, but Laguna Seca will probably do clear and just do nighttime or sunset, or something to switch it up a bit. And then that'll be the end of this one. And then as long as the patch fixes the issues, we'll be doing our multi-class race on December 17th. So that's not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday after that. Aiming for 15 GT4s, 15 GT3s. Track is not announced yet. That will be announced when the signups are. It is not one of the new tracks, I can say that. And it is a track that I'm pretty sure they do multi-class races on in real life. So look for signups for that next week. If the patch comes out and it turns out it doesn't fix the dashboarding issues, that'll get pushed back to next year after they fix those updates. And then, our next Box 3 season will start next year, and our next casual series will start at some point next year. I'm probably going to do a vote on which day works better for those. It's kind of hard to work around all the different time zones, so that's why Sundays works. But it may start doing them earlier on Sundays, so more people in Europe can join in. It might be a little late for them, depending on their time zone. And then over holiday break, we'll just have some pickup fun races, maybe even get a group of people on like OG Assetto Corsa and cruise around on there, or Wreckfest or something. So if it's on ACC, I'll probably stream it. If it's one of the other games, I probably won't. It'll probably just be in game chat. But yeah, So that's what's coming up, Box 3 and stream-wise. And I feel like I'm missing something, but I think that's it. So yeah, appreciate everybody sticking around watching the race. I was hoping for it to be a closer battle. Unfortunately, DXC crashed a couple times. And Zapa got a stop and go, so that kind of prevented any challengers from reeling us in. But good practice on that track. I do really like that track, and that car and that track is pretty sweet. So, but yeah, other than that, I will get you guys next time on Wednesday. Peace.